truly coming from a place of co-creation, co-living, life-preserving, life-enabling? Is it coming from that place? Or is there ulterior motives? Is there selfish motives? Is there, well, there is not enough for everyone, therefore I'm going to make sure I have more than the others? Or I'm going to make sure I have now more so that others cannot have more later? Is it coming from a place of scarcity, from a place of lack, from a place of I deserve more than someone else, from a place of life as human is more valuable than life as a plant or as an animal? Which place are our decisions coming from? Are they coming from our heart, from our deepest sense of selfless embrace of the love of creation? Is creative force truly moving through us to create more? Are we pure vessels of that divine force? Or have we lost our way along the way? Have we forgotten this creative force that we are a direct extension of? And we have witnessed the power of our destructive force, and we've played with that for some time. We are at an important point, an inflection point of change as human race, an inflection point of change as beings on this earth. And guess what? The earth is reminding us that we are at an inflection point. She's saying, guys, if you keep on doing what you're doing, you may not be here for much longer. And that is a nice version that I have translated from her to you. She's going to be a lot more fierce and a lot less sugar-coated. And guess what? She's seen so many forms of beings and conscious beings alive, live, experience a form on earth, and move on and die. She's seen many generations of beings live, thrive, and perish, and go extinct. And entire ages and phases of reforming the ecosystems on her. She's seen so much more than we can even imagine, right? For us to think that she is somehow attached to us, I don't know, if maybe a flawed thought. So here we are on this powerful earth. She's a conscious being providing consistently. The only thing we have to make sure is understand the impact of our actions and truly receive this unconditional gift and make it regenerative, sustainable, and create more from what she gives us. Life-enabling, life-preserving. Am I making sense to you? Yes? So, as human race, are we ready? And that is my question to you. All of you, representatives of the human race that have come here to witness this very moment. Thank you for being here, and thank you for representing humanity. And on behalf of humanity, we are going to meditate together, set an intention, and speak what we feel, what we are aligned to, and what kind of intention and thought and emotion are we transmitting to all of humanity from this place. Awakening inhabitants, awakening souls on human earth. What do you feel? What do you think? And what do you transmit? Thank you all for being here. We're going to go into a beautiful and powerful meditation together. And from that place, we're going to go into a transmission and receive some guidance from higher planes of consciousness. Take a deep breath in. Remember maybe the first action when we are born on this earth. A deep breath, filling ourselves, our lungs, our bodies with air, with life force from this earth. And throughout this meditation, keep breathing gently and calmly, reminding you of the beauty and the gift of life. And for a moment, feel into your heart, and the heartbeat. Let you feel the heartbeat that keeps you alive. So many forces working on behalf of you to keep you in this human experience. Tirelessly, this heart is beating. The lungs are breathing. All of your organs are working. All the cells, so that we can have this human experience, this gift of being alive. And from this place, feel how all of these operations that are happening within you are happening because of the existing ecosystems, because of the life force that moves through this earth, because this earth has granted a home for this human experience. Feel the intrinsic nature of our existence within this earth and her ecosystems. The life that moves through her extends into you and your life. All of life on this earth is an extension of the life force that moves through this earth. She is the glue that binds all living beings on this earth together. She is the one that fuels and feeds, nourishes and loves all living beings on this earth. Take a deep breath into that understanding. We are part of this ecosystem, of this fabric of life. We are graced by this love of this earth. And we are an extension of consciousness, having a material experience. And for a moment, feel alone, an individual, alive, an individual, separate but yet connected to the earth. Just feel yourself for a moment, a single human being alive on earth. Just you and the earth in a singular connection. And feel how your breath and your heartbeat is synchronized with the heartbeat and the breath of the earth. And feel for a moment how your consciousness is connected to the consciousness of this earth. Aren't we truly children of this earth? Isn't she truly a mother to us? Serving, loving, unconditionally giving, providing in so many different ways. And for a moment, extend your heart, open your sensations to receive this love of this earth. Feel how much love she has for you, how much she gives to you every day, as much as you're willing to receive. Abundantly, not discriminating, not limiting, she provides. First and foremost, her love for life. And we receive this gift of life with grace, with humility. And we thank her. In whichever ways your thanks are delivered. And from this place of deep connection, feel how we are energetically connected to her. Imagine you have roots like a powerful tree. Imagine you receive a beautiful life force from this earth, fueling you and your life, your health and your well-being, your radiance and your warmth, your thoughts and your emotions. Everything is fueled by this life force. And from this place, Expand your imagination and thought to all of humanity. Start to feel and sense all the humans in your neighborhood, in your city, in your town. And start to feel the humans of your nation and of your continent, and the humans of many other continents, spanning the entire globe. Humans to various degrees of awake and asleep, of healthy and ill, of loving and of closed. Without judgment, we observe all forms and shapes of humans that exist. We look at humanity from the eyes of this earth, and her eyes do not judge. She loves all of humanity, no matter what. With all our blind spots and flaws, she loves us, love, like the children that we are. And feeling all of humanity, the ones that are right now awake and aware, to all of those that are right now in meditation, in honoring of this earth. You feel them among the crowd of all of humanity. All of them tuned into a specific frequency, a specific presence. And the bond is formed between all of those that are meditating together. That are awake but truly tuned in to the frequency and the love of this earth, to their connection and their bond, to your connection and your bond with this earth and with all of humanity. And this synchronous connection with humans awake and with humans connected to the earth. This synchronous connection breathes together. Almost like one organism. We are synchronizing in our energy, in our presence, in our connection with this earth. And we allow the power of this earth to fuel us, not just as an individual, but to fuel us as a collective, as a community. And from this place of being fueled, the field of presence that we hold together expands. naturally our presence expands, our love expands, our grace and our gratitude expands, our field of presence expands. We expand to embrace the trees and the plants of this earth. We expand to embrace all fungi and bacteria of this earth, microorganisms everywhere. We extend and embrace all animal life of this earth. We extend and embrace all elements of this earth, minerals and crystals of all form and shape. We expand and embrace all non-material beings that do not have form, yet are present in energy within the ecosystems of this earth. We expand and embrace all of life and all ecosystems required to provide for life. And we have embraced the earth with the synchronized energy and love. We have embraced her with our love and with her love that we have received. With the love of creation that moves through us, we have embraced all of life that we can witness and feel. And from this place, for a moment, let's just observe and feel. From this highest place of presence, from this life-preserving, life-creating, life-enabling presence, what is our intention? What is our prayer for this world, for humanity living on this earth? Feel your prayer. Feel your intention. And just like waves, witness how your intention and your prayer moves across the plane, across the entire globe. A prayer and an intention that includes all living beings, all of humanity, no exceptions. A prayer that embraces all of life. A prayer that embraces the proliferation of life, the celebration of life, the honoring of life, and the giver of life, this earth, and all mothers of this earth. And from this place of being, witness how all wrongdoings of past generation and present generations are forgiven, dissolve in the presence of this powerful unconditional love that we represent. How all forms of ignorance dissipate, how all forms of trauma transmute. This frequency of love that you all bring forth in your connection with the earth and with all of humanity, with all of life. This is the power we hold as a collective. And from this place also witness how your entire being is fueled in greater health and well-being, in abundance and pure love. From this place of being, witness all of your loved ones, friends and family, the ones that are alive and the ones that are past. Everyone receives from your state and keep holding this frequency while I enter an embodied state and deliver the transmission from the Elohim. Greetings. We are Elohim. The transformation of humanity as a consciousness begins with you. Just like in this very moment, you have allowed yourself to hold a higher perspective of reality, of awareness, and of love. You have transformed yourself beyond the limitations that you thought exist, beyond the capabilities you thought you hold. The most powerful capabilities of your existence have emerged. Your capacity to observe, your capacity to witness, to realize, and to love unconditionally. A non-dual state of being, moving through you across this plane of existence. Allowing yourself to be a vessel of the divine, an extension of the love of creation. Holding yourself in the greatest light that you can perceive, and holding others in the greatest light that you can hold. This transformation that you're undergoing will become the most significant moment in human existence in physical form. An evolutionary process for any consciousness to come to its own realization. You are evolving as a collective. You are evolving as a collective consciousness. And the earth has provided you with the circumstances and the environment to experience the physical form of being human. She has allowed you to witness, to observe, to manipulate, to create, and to destroy. And with every action that you have taken and your previous generations have taken, you have learned. While many experiences have not concluded in learnings and realizations yet, all of you have experienced, and many generations before you as well. And the time has come for you to take these experiences of the present and of the past and to transform these experiences into realizations. Learnings to be held within you, learnings to be held within human consciousness as a collective, learnings to be inherited to the coming generations. This is the power of evolution, the power of awakening, and the power of realization. the earth will continue to provide to all of humanity and to all of life on this earth until her time is complete. Yet before her time is complete, she will serve many other forms of consciousness. Long after humanity's experience on this earth is complete. Her life span expands beyond yours as a collective. And many other forms will have their take on an evolutionary process to learn and to self-realize, just the way you have received your opportunity here in this very moment. And the gift she has given, the way she has provided, she will provide to many other forms, just as she has before your existence on this earth. Receive this gift with grace. And witness the power and potency and the love of this gift in every moment. Every breath you take, every drop of water you drink, every piece of food you eat. Remind yourself of the tremendous gift of love from this earth, the unconditional nature of this gift that shall not be forgotten, and allow the frequency of this gift to uplift you into higher states of being, so that you can become an extension of this unconditional love and gift others with your presence. In this very moment, you are an extension of human consciousness in a state of awareness, in a state of connectedness across the globe, synchronized to a frequency that all of you hold together. A frequency that can change perception, and for a moment hold the possibility of change, the possibility of witnessing this world as perfectly aligned, as perfectly loved and loving, as perfectly healthy. Witness this world and all of humanity in co-creation, in coexistence, Witness all of life evolving alongside humanity, alongside with the earth. And for this moment, imagine yourself to be receiving the gifts of this earth and being human once again, with a new sense of aliveness, with a new sense of health and well-being, with a new sense of love, with a new sense of connection to yourself, to this earth, and to all of humanity, to all living beings, to all ecosystems of this earth. A true steward of this earth. And anchor the state of being in your conscious awareness. Remember that this state of being is available to you at any time. Remember that if you can reach this state of being, so can others. And remember that the more of you come together to hold this perspective, this synchronized frequency, this openness and this alignment, the more humanity will benefit from these states of being and from the realizations that emerge from this collective. Thank you for listening to our words and receiving this transmission. And while we are still in this field of expansion, let's continue to fuel ourselves, our lives, our health, our loved ones from this beautiful connection with Earth, with all the elements, with all of life. Feel how everything is rebalancing within yourself, harmonizing, finding a new sense of alignment. And continue to anchor this state of being with deep breaths. Breaths that every cell of your being feel. And in this very moment, observe this very truth that we are holding collectively, that this meditation, that this collaborative gathering, this intention and this prayer will impact all of humanity in the best possible ways, all of life on this earth in the best possible ways. Know and feel that the millions around this world that are meditating today, that are praying today, that are intending today, are impacting and will impact all of humanity and the earth itself. As her healing is our healing and our healing is hers. Her well-being is our well-being and our well-being is hers. And you can stay in this state of being for as long as you want to. You can continue to meditate. If you want, you can lie down to fully integrate. Or maybe you will find yourself in nature at some point today to witness this depth of connection we've created. Thank you all for joining.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. For those of you who are wanting to, take some time to return to your body. For those of you who want to stay in meditation, you're welcome. Our next session will begin at 10:30 Pacific time, which is about 20 minutes from now. We'll be joined by some of our very special friends, Alan Steinfeld, Joan of Angels, John Burgos, and Stephanie Lodge, also known as Hug Angel. For those of you who are unable to join us for the second session, we'll be posting a replay soon on our YouTube channel, so you can access it there. And we'd also like to invite you to our next live transmission on Saturday, May 6th, of which the May 6th transmission will be available in Spanish on May 20th on our Spanish YouTube channel. This work is possible, this transmission and this celebration is possible because of your support. As you would imagine, it takes a village, a whole globe, to bring the channel to this space and then beam it out to all of you. So if you find this of value, please consider supporting us to keep this work accessible. There are links to the chat. There are links in the chat with options for giving. So thank you for that in advance. We'd also like to invite you to our upcoming Sacred Earth expedition in the Balkans. This is the long-awaited, much anticipated by our community announcement. We'll be traveling through the Balkans to perform some deep work with the land and a number of powerful sacred site activations. So this epic adventure is going to focus on realignment of key points throughout Bosnia, Serbia, and Croatia. And for those of you who've taken our courses, you're welcome to join us in person for this 8-day adventure, June 19th to the 26th, just a couple of months from now. We're sharing the link to the landing page for you now with more details and registration links. You can also join us on this adventure from wherever you are, from the comfort of your own home. We'll be launching a virtual component to our expedition, and we'll have more details early May, so stay tuned. For those of you joining us in Spanish, the second session starting at 10:30 will not be translated live, but we will have it translated and up on YouTube within a week. And thank you, a special thank you to our Spanish team who are so dedicated to creating accessibility for the community. We really appreciate you. You can also follow us on social media, which we have posted in the chat. And you could come to our Evergreen course and enroll in Discovery Series, Aligning Self and Earth. It's in Spanish and in English. So with that, I thank you all for joining this first experience, and we'll see you in about 15 minutes.
See you in 15 minutes.
Blessings, everyone.
Blessings.
All right. Hello. All right.
Hello, Crystal.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Now the celebration part. Yeah. Is everybody ready? Asil.
Well, yes. Are you having fun? Oh, yes, I am, indeed. This, I have to admit, like this meditation was off the charts. It was amazing.
Really
Thank
deep.
you all for making this really possible.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I see Alan and Joan already
Yeah.
joining. Yoo-hoo.
Yeah. Very exciting. I
Yeah,
also
we have some of
Denise
our
here with me.
closest friends and lovely friends joining. Hi, Denise.
Denise is hanging with me on Earth Day.
Yeah, fantastic. Oh, there's so
Yeah.
much beautiful things happening here on Earth Day all around the world.
Yeah, it's true.
It's really good to bring some of our lovely friends from across the planet in and hear a little bit about how they're celebrating and what they're into these days.
Yeah, when we were talking about this event and the inspiration for this event, Asil said, "Well, why don't we bring in some of our friends and bring in their voices and help us understand what's going on with them when it comes to the Earth and Earth Day?" So we're joined by special guests Joan of Angels, Alan Steinfeld, John Burgos, and Hug Angel. Although her name is Stephanie Lodge, but she's known as Hug Angel. And so we'll hear from them. We're going to start with Alan and Joan of Angels. Alan is a writer and a speaker in fields of human potential and consciousness evolution. He hosts the series New Realities, and he's a fellow New Yorker. Welcome. And
Thank you.
Joan is also known as Dr. Joan Hangarter. She's an intuitive guide, oracle, and transformational teacher. She's the host of Miracle Mondays. And most importantly, and this is from your website, Joan, she is a dedicated wing fluffer. The two collaborate on many ventures, including one that they're at now, and also the show Out of This World with Joan and Alan. So we're honored to know them and work with them. Welcome, Alan and Joan.
Start with some fluffing, Joan.
Well, it's so happy to be with you guys. We are right now at the Portal to Ascension Conference down in San Diego. And so we're right here by the water, working with all the transformational energies, air, wind, earth, and fire, I think this weekend. And happy to be on the show with you.
Yeah, and you know, I have to say it's kind of silly for one day of the year to be celebrated as Earth Day. Right?
Yeah.
Guess what? We are living inside the earth. This touch. If you touch your body, that's earth. You are living, you are an earthling in an earth body. I know we talk about star people and everything like that, but this vehicle is made of the earth. It lives by the earth. It lives on the earth. I like to call myself an earthling. even though we are connected to the
Yeah,
stars. And when you
100%.
body with clean food, clean water, clean air, you are honoring the earth. So Earth Day starts with yourself, really. And that's like, that's the biggest blessing the earth has given us, these vehicles. That is such a gift. And I try to eat the best I can. I try to drink the best water. So, and I try to go out on the earth, walk in bare feet as much as possible. It's sometimes a little hard in the city, Crystal, to do that in New York City.
Right?
But I try to do that. I have a little story. When I first went to Sedona and I saw these magical red rocks, I never seen anything as magical as the red rocks of Sedona. I was so, and I have to say, obsessed with that red earth that I'm really not exaggerating. I took out all the clothes I had in my suitcase and filled the suitcase full of this red dirt in my suitcase. And then I got back to New York and I put it in this little box and I'd stand on the red earth in my bare feet. And it's like I was transported back to Sedona. And that worked fine for a couple of days until my cat discovered the box.
Oh, that's so funny.
I couldn't understand on cat pee red earth. So anyway, that's a little story, but I was obsessed enough to take some earth back from Sedona and stand it in. But anyway, that's my little Earth Day story.
How funny, Alan. You're literally carrying stones and dirt in your suitcase back to New York.
Like red earth. Wow, it really is red. And do you know why it's red? Because it has iron and and our blood is red. The hemoglobin, the red in the earth, it also attracts more oxygen. So like with the iron, it attracts more oxygen. So Sedona's oxygen rich, and the iron does another thing. It creates a magnetic field. So these sacred places have sacred energy, right, Anaya? It's so good to see your face there. Anyway, okay, Joan, what about you?
Oh my God. Okay, so you know what? The earth is living and breathing. When I drive, I lived up in the desert near Joshua Tree, up in the mountains and the rocks there. And when you drive through, you can see the ancient beings in these rocks. You can see many of them are actually ancient. I believe that they're ancient giants, ancient godlike figures that somehow were asphyxiated, right, and could no longer breathe and became stone, immobilized in stone, or even in a state of suspended animation. Because you can see, so I drive around and I take pictures of these mountains now, and you can see the faces. So last month I stayed right opposite Thunder Mountain. I do believe that's the thunder god. It could be the thunder god Zeus, because when you get in the right position, you see the nose, you see the mouth, you see the eyes. And these sacred objects, these sacred rocks and mountains, the atoms are still moving. They are composed of atoms, just like we are. And those atoms, have the neutrons and I can't remember all the parts about it, but they all circle around the nucleus. Even though we can't see it, they're circling very slowly. And when you expand your consciousness and slow it down, you can feel it. So last month, I took a spoon bending class. And there I was thinking I should be able to do the spoon, right? And the girl next to me, who had been a client of mine, she bent her spoon immediately. I'm like, I now really have to bend the spoon. The human mind. And I relaxed, I let her go, and I started to meditate and feel into the spoon. And it was the same process I have with the mountains. I could feel the expansion of the molecules. And then I could feel them expanding beyond the limit of the spoon. In other words, there was no spoon. There were just expanding molecules. And at that moment, I heard a voice that said, bend now. And it bent. And the point I'm saying is that we're all alive. There's aliveness within us. One of the things that I was going to share today is, our heartbeat. We can actually ground our heartbeat to resonate with the heartbeat of the planet. And there's a process I teach people where we put our roots down to the center of the earth. and we imagine our antenna going up to the heavens, and we start to tune up our antenna so that it grounds with the earth with our own unique frequency tone.
Mm-hmm.
We can harmonize with Mother Earth. We can have the beating of our pulse and heart going with her. We can slow down and put our consciousness into that rock. You know, I had an experience recently where I found myself inside the avatar body of Ra, the god Ra, and I'm looking down at humans who are less than this big, 300 feet below. But what it was is that energizing in a way that when we ground at both directions, the heavens and the earth, we can feel everything.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
So, Asil, I appreciate what you're doing here with all this beautiful people, hundreds of people listening online on New Realities and on your channel and Joan's channel. And I think this year we're going to be coming together more as a collective. We met a couple of times and there's more events coming up. So this is really a year where we're planning on networking the people. You've been going around the planet, connecting the dots on the earth. So now we're connecting the dots with the people. So I'm excited about what we can all do together. Maybe we could do this, what we talked about in Northern California, bringing in a day of contact by some of the vortex sites, like gathering a lot of people there, a lot of spiritual teachers, and bringing in with intention a real landing site there. I mean, that's a bit of a, people have done that in the past, but I think because the vibration is changing, it's possible. What do you think?
Well, up north does have very, very sacred portals, very sacred sites. One of the blessings we have on the planet is the ley lines and energy around the planet, on the planet, and also I do believe up in the heavenly area, we have these energetic ley lines that carry energy that allow us to actually send our consciousness right now over to Egypt to prepare the way for our Egypt trip.
Oh, yes.
Or to Glastonbury, did by all things.
Well, did you know that was Asil's work the last couple of years, is to connect those ley lines? Right? Is that true, Asil?
That's right. So I'm still going very actively to all the different ley lines and sites of global trauma and the power places. And in June, we'll be in Serbia, Bosnia, and Croatia doing some realignment work as well as activation work, including a solstice meditation at the pyramids in Bosnia.
Oh, also over there, there's that apparition of the Mary, of the Virgin Mary that's happening. Yes. You've been there, right?
I don't think I have been there.
Yeah, but what's the name of that place again? Over in Serbia, I think it is. And all those sites, I think, are real apparitions of something, maybe Mary, or maybe the divine feminine presence, because of the ley lines and the vortexes, and usually there's a water there, and it's a sacred kind of water there. So water, the blood of the earth, and the air is the breath of the earth. So it's like the earth is alive. It really is. I feel our consciousness is so limited that we don't see the bigger life forms. It's like looking at an ant on the ground. Does the ant know that maybe more intelligent, maybe not intelligent creature is looking at them when you're looking at these ants? So it's like conceive of the earth's consciousness, but the earth is very aware of its own little separate parts. And Bruce Lipton says we are like the receptor sites. The receptor sites are the ones that interface with the inner and outer environment on the membrane of the cell. Humans are like that. We're bringing in information from the cosmos into the earth. I mean, the earth is too, but we're doing something with it as a civilization. So we have to start to realize we're much more connected to the life force and consciousness of the earth, and we're here to serve that bigger being. We are an aspect of that this is my feeling. So instead of going around thinking how individual we are, it's me and you, and it's like maybe we're really part of one great being, separate in a bigger super organism. And that's another thing Bruce Lipton said to me when I interviewed him. He said, we are not humans until we create humanity. This is when all the people realize that we are interconnected in our consciousness. I mean, Zoom is like, yeah, we can see we're all connected here, but I don't think some great civilizations needed Zoom. They had that interface of consciousness. But the next level of civilization, so cells came together. This is Bruce Lipton's model. One cell joined with another cell to form a colony of cells, because you increase your awareness by sharing information. You look that way, I look that way. And then something magical happens in evolution when colonies of cells come together and they form a synergy of awareness. Synergy of awareness means their consciousness is connected. So it's no longer, hey, what are you looking at there? What are you looking at there? There's a synergy with all your cells in your body forming your conscious awareness. It's not like your liver cell and your heart cell and your lung cell they are conscious, but then they're forming this greater being that we call the human expression. So when we all come together as individual beings and work in a coherent fashion, acknowledging our differences, then there's a chance we form a synergy of awareness among the race of human beings. And then we become the superorganism, so we can then make contact. This is going back to my book, Making Contact, with other singular beings. So the earth completes its level of consciousness when we all realize we're part of a single form of being. So anyway, that's a little something here that I wanted to say. Can we bring a special guest star in for a little? So here, click down. We have someone.
Who you got?
Here, Carolyn Corey. Everybody knows who she is. She just did an incredible film. And this is
Hello.
Earth Day.
Everybody, every day should be Earth Day.
I agree.
Every day should be.
I'm about to speak now, so I just wanted
And
to
you're going to be introducing her in a few minutes.
yeah.
But tell them what film's coming up for you.
Oh, yeah.
Among Us. Everybody should watch that movie, Among Us.
Among Us.
Yeah,
Okay.
available everywhere.
Carolyn is really one of the talented filmmakers in our community. Tear in the Sky, Among Us.
For dropping in.
Superhuman is fantastic. I'm sure John Burgos knows that. Burgos, yes. Good to finally be on a show with you, John. Thanks. Thank you,
It
everyone.
was lovely.
Thank you, Asil. Thank you, everybody, for.
Good.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Joan. So good to see you guys. We're always connected.
Yeah, this is just really lovely. I think we can all focus on sending love and planting miracle seeds wherever we go. And know that seeds drop and they spread through the water, the air, through our thoughts.
I also want to say thank you. Thank you. I love looking at people's faces because that is the earth in its animated form. People's faces, when you live in a city, all the nature you see are people's faces.
Yes.
Love, sitting at what?
Quick, I want to just say hi, Alan and Stephanie. I want to just say I have some fulgurite from Sedona in honor of you right now. And Joe, it's literally where lightning strikes Thunder Mountain. So we brought in the thunder. So I just wanted to say hi to you both. I love you so much. Thank you. And nice to see you both again.
Stephanie's going to be part of our upcoming Crystal Skull Conference that's going to be in Sedona, November 16th, 17th, and 18th, where we have some of the best Crystal Skull people there. So Stephanie, looking forward to connecting with you. And we're also
The upcoming.
little commercial here for upcoming trip to Egypt with JJ and Desiree Hurtak. and be on this trip. Is still space available?
Oh, yeah. And we're taking people to Glastonbury. Talk about feeling the earth,
Mm.
the little people,
Mm.
all of the energies of the elementals is what you feel in that heart chakra.
Yes, we're
So-
retracing Asil's steps around the planet.
Okay, he'll clean it. He'll start it and then we'll finish the active vortexes. Maybe meet up with you on your travels. That would be exciting.
Yes, yes. Well, we really are honored being here, this opportunity to share from one conference to another,
Mm,
Ascension Conference is really a fun conference. We have some great speakers. JJ Hertog's coming up today, Carolyn Corey, Adam Apollo. So if you're in the San Diego area after this call, come on down. We'll give everyone on this call a free ticket to come in,
there
okay?
you go.
Okay. If you talk to John.
Love it. Wonderful.
No,
All right.
we want to
it's a
get,
great conference, guys,
Yeah.
and we were giving people a code, but
okay, we'll give them a code.
say Alan
Okay,
sent
it's
you.
my fault. I'll pick up the change. Yeah.
Good to have you. The energy here is really soothing, and we're on the marina, which is why we chose to be indoor and outdoor all weekend. Asil, it's always wonderful to work with you and see you and your team, and just honored to be here.
Mm.
Stephanie, I adore you, the hug angel. Everyone should hug her.
And Denise and Crystal, who are the support teams, and all my friends, John and Anaya, and
Earth. Yeah,
and
forgot
I
to
love
mention
the, and
Earth.
we love the
We
earth.
love Earth.
The earth is our friend. We are the earth. Okay.
All right,
And
guys,
Stephanie,
Love you
see,
guys.
next time.
yes, thank you, Crystal, for the
See you
invitation.
soon.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah. They're
That is
like
the way to start it off.
they're like on fire. Just
Celebration personified.
yeah. They're like high frequency on conference mode for sure. Fantastic.
I love Alan's story about Sedona and
Yeah.
bringing the earth back to
Until
New
his
York
Sedona
City.
dirt became cat litter. That's really funny. All right. Well,
Good.
that was a little refreshing ride here with
Mhm.
Joan and Alan. Love them. They've just been pioneers and really doing a lot of beautiful work around the world. So it's really good to have them as friends and weave this web of change makers closer together.
Yeah. John, are you ready? Yeah. All right, good. Well, our next special friend is John Burgos. He needs probably no introduction, but I'm going to introduce you anyway. John is a social entrepreneur, an internationally recognized thought leader in the field of personal evolution, and a spiritual activist. He has committed his life to improving and enriching the lives of others. And he's the host of Beyond the Ordinary show, of which we've been a part of a couple of times. Overall, he's just a really all-around solid human. So thank you for joining us, John. Thanks for being with us.
Oh, it's so wonderful to be here. And wow, following those guys and just come down.
Just ride the wave, John.
Ground
Ride the
in
wave.
and ground in, ground in. Amazing. Thank you for inviting me to be on here and to really celebrate this special day. And I just want to take a minute just to drop in and really go from this big energy and bring it and lock it into our hearts and just sit in a moment in gratitude for this amazing world that we live in. I mean, really, just wow. Wow. I am surrounded by so much abundance, so much verdant energy, so much growth, so much spirit and wisdom that emanates from this beautiful place that we call Earth, Gaia, on a continuous basis. And it's the more and the more that I am immersed in nature, the more that I'm aware of just how much we have. how much we have. It's just life is good. Again, thank you all for inviting me.
I feel so blessed to have you here, John. You've been on this path for a while. Like, you've seen different waves and awakening stages of humanity, and you've seen how humans relate to the earth, and how that's changing as well, right? As we relate differently to life and our human experience, we start to relate differently to life and the earth. Can you share a little bit, like, what are the changes you're witnessing in yourself and in others?
Oh, it's tremendous. I'll start with quite a few years back. I had a profound experience. I was getting a somatic session. It was a somatic touch session. And the therapist had me on the table, and she was just touching certain activation points within my body. And I equate them to grid points on the earth, truly. There's different activation points in my body. It's all a fractal. I'm a fractal of Gaia, without a doubt. And I went deep into this meditation and into this telecommunication with Gaia. And she started sharing with me, it's like, and I started seeing all these different things that were happening all around Earth. And the message was very clear. It's like, and there was a lot of talk of destruction, of how the Earth was going in different directions and how we were just annihilating her. And she came in with her conscious, like, there is nothing that you can do to destroy me. There's absolutely nothing that you can do to destroy me. And I love you so much that I am willing to take on where you lack consciousness within yourself. I am willing to take on these pains, these hurts, these horrific things that you do to yourself, to demonstrate and to mirror back what you're doing to yourself, so that you will start paying attention, so that you'll start noticing, so that you'll start taking action. Because if you can't do it for yourself, I know that you'll be able to do it for another. So rest and know that there's no way that you can destroy me. I will always be here. I will continue to be here, but my love for you will never end. And I was sobbing on the table with the message, and the message was for me, but it was really a collective message, and meant to be shared with community. So that was quite a few years ago, and I've seen it evolving as I've connected more to the earth, as she has called me. I love that they were talking about the Alan and Joan were talking about grid points and talking about specific places on earth, and I'm called to different activation spots as well. And there's something that I'm doing there. I don't quite know the fullness of it, but I know that there's a seeding, there's an acclimation, there's a bridging of energetics that's happening, which is quite profound. And what is occurring is that as we're deepening our capacity to listen, as we're opening up our empathic ability within ourselves and connecting to other people, we're also awakening that capacity to tune into Gaia, to listen to her message, to listen to her callings, to her song. And what I'm realizing now more than ever is our symbiotic relationship with Earth. As we connect our consciousness into Earth, like they were speaking about, not only are we receiving, we're also giving. When we go on hikes in nature, when we go into water, not only are we receiving the benefit of this powerful, beautiful, loving energy, our consciousness is being imprinted into her as well. So we're awakening to the relationship and understanding the implications of how we choose to dive in, knowing that it becomes also a part of fractal of what Gaia is becoming. We're all one. This unification process that we're remembering of how we are all connected includes Gaia as well. So there's no separation between us and her. And for us to be able to come here and celebrate Gaia is also a celebration of ourselves. And the celebration of ourselves is also a celebration of Gaia.
Yeah.
And how beautiful is that?
It's amazing. Yeah, thank you for stating such fundamental truths that we inherently know. And like, I have a lot of like soul level yeses as you're talking. And I'm like, oh yeah, so this is information that I already know. He's just verbalizing it, and I'm resonating truth against what you're verbalizing. So it is, we know it all collectively on a soul level, but we haven't tapped into like conscious awareness of it yet, until maybe a fellow human verbalizes it to bring that soul knowing to conscious awareness. And here it is. This is why we're doing the work that we are doing. This is why we're bringing this level of conscious awareness into the fabric of society.
Mm. And the work that you do with it, Asil and Crystal, your whole team, Stephanie, you, Alan, Joan, it's all just so it's part of that big heartbeat that is getting in sync. We've had our heartbeats and we've all been kind of in our drums, rightfully so, of how we attune to it. And we've all been bringing it together in the harmonization that's coming together. Because the intentions that we hold and hosting events like this and showing up just through our embodiment, it's not because we're trying to act, it's just by who we are becoming and who we are. And to share from that space, it's so beautiful. Again, it's just, we're living in such amazing times.
So, Crystal, did you have a particular question for John about Earth Day and his relationship with Earth? Or do you want me to continue asking him?
Why don't you ask him one more question, because I wasn't prepared for that, but I
Okay,
would
good,
love to think about
So,
that.
John, you are saying that you are a spiritual activist. And I want to understand, because I feel that way too about myself, but I want to understand like what that means for you and how it expresses itself.
As a spiritual activist, and again, we take on lots of different names and personalities and energies as we go along the way, and it all seems to change. But the activist part, it's both senses of the word. We're really, as an activist, someone that's calling out, someone that is a voice for something, really we're activating. We're transmitting for others, we're sharing truth that we learn along the way, or our version of that truth. And activating that living truth in others as well. So as I dare to speak my experiences, how does that activate an experience in you? How does that activate a curiosity or a knowing, or even something that may feel like it makes you go back and contract and say, no, that's not for me? That's activating as well. It's all these things that are igniting this potency within us that really takes us to a place where we're thinking outside of the box that we've been so entrained to think in for so long. And when we start doing that, we can't help but become activists for the rest of the world.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I do love it. And I feel like it is really about activating others as we are being activated with, spirit is moving through us and activating us. So we have almost no other choice but just share that love and that activation with everyone else. And it's kind of like this, this continued emergence that's moving through across the plane or across humanity, across the globe. So I'm super honored to be on this journey with you. And
Me too.
I feel your love and I feel your care for humanity, for the earth, for all living beings, and also humanity as a consciousness that's at a critical point of evolution. So thank you for that. I'll have one more thing that I want to see. What piece of advice or perspective you could give to our audience here in regards to their relationship to the earth? Like, how could they possibly deepen that relationship or take it to the next level?
Oh, that's such a great question. We can get into the practices and go into nature, and y'all know those things.
Yeah.
Y'all know those things. And it will remind you to keep reminding yourself to do it, to not forget. But to take it on a deeper level, it's like, how are we attuning to those energies and embodying? And as we embody, how do our actions and the way that we live life align with what it is that you seek to create in your life? Because a lot of consciousness will say they want to manifest one thing, but then the actions go in another direction. And so as we start paying more attention to how we're embodying what we're living, how we're embodying what we're speaking, how we're embodying, and by embodiment, feeling your word, feeling your connection to the land, feeling your connection into that cosmic intelligence that you all have access to. We have access to all of it. But as you dare to center with it, be present with it, let that be your guiding post and your equilibrium point, because it will bring us back into balance if we just pause and pay attention to it. It will always recalibrate us. It just requires the intimacy that we're willing to put into it so that we can give and receive from that place that's truly in balance with nature, in balance to the organic evolvement of how we're really supposed to live this life. And no matter what comes, and there's going to be some challenges that are coming up for all of us, and they're going to be quite big, but they're not bigger than we are. And so if you remember that, and don't get caught in the wave of cataclysm, but really understand that as you surround yourself with others, and as you surround yourself with the consciousness of that divine light and the divine truth that flows through you from up and below, and bring it into equilibrium, that we have everything that we need to get through anything, both good and perhaps not. It's all good. It's all good because it's all bringing everything to balance. So again, feel, tune in, be present, and the rest will guide you. We'll follow the waves.
Yeah. Beautiful. John, I have to say, when we met at Conscious Life Expo, it was more than 3 years ago.
Yeah.
We're on the floor, we're meeting hundreds of people a day, in just people coming in and going out. But there was a moment that you and I had where I felt this connection and this frequency. I was like, you and I, we're gonna be friends, because I feel it. We're either from the same place or we're just resonating a similar frequency. But I love the way your perspective and your voice is both grounded and expansive, and is, holding a very aligned, neutral perspective with a positive inclination and direction. So it's not there is a way we can spiritually bypass or spiritually whitewash certain things that we're having, or we can doom everything that we're perceiving. But holding that right balance in perspective is such an important skill to have while holding a high frequency, right? So I feel like you do that so well, and I'm so happy and honored to call you a friend.
Thank you for that perspective. And I'm same. The second we met, it's okay, it's there's something here, and y'all know Asil. I mean, how can you not resonate with him and this energy and this just invitation that you carry? And then when you get into channel mode, and it's just, you live in all those worlds that I love to navigate in and to learn from and to grow in. So thank you for what you carry. And Crystal, thank you also. Again, I met all of y'all in the team, and it's just home. Thank you. It's just home. Yeah. So thank you for having me on here. Thank you for hosting this. Thank you for the opportunity to be intentional and present in gratitude to Gaia and celebrating her. And Crystal, happy birthday to you as we celebrate you during this time as well. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I do have a question for you.
Yes.
Yes. How do you celebrate being a human?
Oh my God.
What do you do to celebrate?
I feel so much lately celebrating. I feel so much even the things that would be challenging, feeling those is like, wow, I get to be human and feel this and really, and that may seem challenging sometimes, even when I'm worried or anxious about something. It's like, oh wow, it's like, okay, there's like something riding through me, and there's actually an excitement that has started to take shape in the capacity to be in this human vessel, and what we experience, and then I also stop and recognize the love that is being shared towards me through the show and my partnership, through friendships, and I'm learning more than ever to receive that. And it's been a learning process because it's so easy to give. You know, grow up giving. It's like it's a survival mechanism. But to learn to receive has been so humbling and so filling that it's just, I haven't felt at this depth before. And that level of, again, receiving is just, my cup runs over. And from that place, I can't help but to give back. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So thank you. Thank you for asking.
That's great. Yeah, what I love about you, John, is your ability to see through new eyes all the time.
Oh, thank you.
The constant level of like curiosity and being open to the different experiences of life as they come through and make them new. So appreciate that in you.
Oh, it's so rich. It's so rich. We live in such a rich world. So y'all enjoy it. Please join the party. It's amazing. Yeah.
The human party.
Yeah, absolutely.
Asil, you have any more burning questions for John? There is a question in the chat for you, John. I don't know if you are open
Absolutely. Yeah.
answering it, but Rachel's asking, if we're sensitive to powerful energies, how can we better integrate them so they don't get stuck in the body as pain?
Oh, that's such a great question. Well, we can start asking, why the pain? Why is the pain coming through, and being curious about it without necessarily having to have the answer, being open to receive it on multiple levels. We can receive it on a walk through nature. We can receive it in dream time, telepathically. You might connect into one of Asil's transmissions and something moves through there. So again, being in the curiosity and allowing the different environments that we immerse ourselves in to be a conduit for the integration and then the transmutation of the energy is really important. We don't have to do this solo, y'all. We've gone beyond the place where we think that we have to do this all by ourselves, and you don't. And there's such beautiful, innocent, organic places that can show up. It could be with your pet. If you have a pet, petting your dog or your cat. Again, a transmission from Asil, listening to Stephanie and what she's channeling, tuning into Alan and his high frequency energy is like, oh, that's a transmutation right there. There's all these different places. But the most important thing is that you're aware that there's energy moving through you. And if you feel something that's not quite moving, your awareness is key. That right there tells me that you've already begun to move it. Right? Dance, play, laugh, cry. All these beautiful, amazing tools that are so simple, but we complicate in all these other ways, thinking we have to hold a certain thing so we can transmit the energy. And sometimes those tools are wonderful, but be open and curious. And again, just notice that it's stuck. And it's like, all right, what can I do? Eat good foods, drink good water. Always fantastic. Oh, it's stuck. Let me stay away from the media or from the news or TV. That might just kind of bottle it up more, depending on what I'm ingesting. But don't judge it. And it's actually just, if it's stuck energy, it's also inviting us to grow energetically. Oh, there's something here kind of bottlenecking. How am I being taught how to expand that energy? What's it asking of me in my growth? Rather than thinking, what's it taking away from me? Because all these energies are always giving us something, and we can approach it from that perspective. You can't help but to expand in consciousness, awareness, empathy, and then your ability to communicate that outwardly as an expression of your love just continues to expand exponentially.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I could listen to you for hours.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. It's so good to have you here with us.
An honor
And
to be here.
blessings to you on this beautiful Earth Day. I know you celebrate Earth Day every day, and
Mm.
I hope you continue to shine your light with that beautiful high frequency. And I look forward to seeing you very soon.
I'll see you very soon. And I'm sending everyone in this call. We're in Yosemite all week. We're actually leaving today. So we've been in the valley of waterfalls with these big granite stones, just in nature, immersing it in, celebrating Earth Day, celebrating Courtney's birthday. Just it's wow. So I'm sending y'all a huge transmission from Yosemite. Magical, magical. From my heart to yours. I hope that you receive and let it fill you the rest of the day and for always. And Asil, Crystal, thank you. Stephanie, good to see you.
Receive, John. Receive, John. Thank you so much.
Bye, y'all.
All right. Take care. All right. Wow. Mr. John Burgos, everyone. Thank you for that question in the chat, and thank you to John for showing up and bringing that bit of grounding and solidarity and fun. Asil, shall we introduce Hug Angel, or is there anything that you want to say in between?
I think we shall.
Okay.
And I'm actually super excited. I feel like very like aside from like meditation, right? Coming together and in this exchange, there is a transmutation happening in like people sharing their energies in this container that we have already established through the meditation. Like there's something happening here that I'm observing, and I feel like this is so much more than just like a casual Zoom chat. Do you guys know what I mean? Right? There's something happening here behind the scenes, and we might be all feeling it, but might not be able to put our finger on it. But there is something happening here because of the potency of the field that we've established together. And so it's almost like, even when John was speaking, like the words he was saying, like I couldn't like fully retain. I was just feeling the energy behind it. I'm like, wow, the energy is moving. Like there's consistent transmission happening as a result of the field that we've co-created together. So having said that, super excited to have Stephanie here with us.
Yes. And Stephanie Lodge, commonly known as the Hug Angel, is a modern mystic, a motivational speaker, and she is a light stream for angelic intelligence. So I will be a personal testament to that. Asil and Stephanie both spoke on an angel panel at Conscious Life Expo. And when she started to share her voice, the energy that was coming through her voice was pure light. So it really, it caught my attention. And we're so happy to have her here and joining us for this celebration. Welcome, Stephanie.
Oh, hello, everyone. Hi, Asil. Hi, Crystal. Happy birthday, love.
Thank you.
You're a big hug if you're still here. And I'm like John. I'm so giddy and excited to be here because, like you, Crystal, I had a palpable energy when Asil was sharing his transmission, and I just felt like we were in the same home stream, the soul stream, as I like to say. And Asil, I'm just really honored and just in just such gratitude for connecting with you again in this life, at least, and all of you and your team. And yeah, we definitely had some really beautiful shares, and I'm grateful to be here with all of you, everyone streaming in, and happy to hug you all. I'm just going to say, give yourself a big hug. It's me hugging you in this moment. My heart's coming in. Oh, there was so much energy. And just ready to stream. So here we are. So I'm happy to be here, excited for this beautiful conscious day of Earth celebration and Gaia love.
Well, it's
Are we still running? Are we good? Is my, because my connection was a little wobbly there. That happens sometimes with us when we come together.
yes. It just broke up for a second, but it's all good. It seems like to be holding right now. Crystal, did you want to give like a formal introduction to Stephanie?
Well, other than what I already shared about
Okay.
her being the hug angel and the light stream for angelic intelligence.
Oh yeah, okay, got
And
it.
Stephanie, would you like me to share anything more, or would you like to share anything more
Would you
about
like to share
yourself?
anything more about yourself?
Yeah, I think what's happening, and just because what I want to explain to everybody, when my field joins in and in this conscious way, it can create 0-point consciousness, like on a lot of levels. And so that whole, like what just happened, the memory lapse, that will happen. And that's part of my design and what I came to do. So I'll explain a little bit of what my purpose is, which is slightly different than Asil's and others in this room who do what they do in the world. And why I celebrate Gaia in the way that I do. And I call her Diamond Earth. And I want to share a little bit about that, if that's okay. So first of all, I work with the liberation of humanity by activating and accelerating the ascension of what I call the angelic architects that have returned to this planet to support its ascension process. And what I specifically do is help mantle up what I call Diamond Earth, or what you would call the etheric playground of what we can hold. Some people call it 5D. I kind of see that as a limitation, to be honest. I feel that it's multifaceted. It holds multiple stations of light. I prefer to call them stations than dimensions. And I'm going to share with you the reason I change language is because part of, if you notice the image behind me, we have this earth, earth kind of breaking out of a little bit of a matrix field, right? This transformation. I see it kind of like a chrysalis, and I call it the chrysalis, like Christ consciousness, because we are becoming these bridges, like little acupuncture needles of light. Many of us move around the planet, and every footstep you take is having an imprint into this field, into this energy of Gaia's holographic assembly, as I call it. And this is the light, and this is the energy and the intelligence that source is creating at all times for us. God is creating, God, goddess, however you see that. And for me personally, what I enjoy doing is bringing those high vibrational frequencies really into Gaia to liberate from some of the old programs and old paradigms, memory systems that keep us locked into some density, right? And so for me, what I love to do is activate people to open up their channel, right, their conduit, to bring in even more of what I call that diamond light, that pure essence of living light straight from source, versus going into the spiritual, let's call it memory banks, right, the Akash or spirit in general. And I think that's what Asil and I have in common, is we're accessing some of these higher stations of light to bring in that pure wisdom that's assisting us to let go of everything that we believe that we are from before, and come into a space of, okay, from this moment of now, the 0-point energy of you in this moment, what do you want to create? How do you want to liberate this planet from all the stuff you're currently seeing it dissolving, right? And open up your channel more to just bring in and dream awake new reality, right? So for me, I love doing that. And I love to just express what I call angelic intelligence or consciousness that really is us. We're all angelic, right? We all have angels of consciousness. And the sound and the light and all that works through us is so healing for the planet. And I'll pause there because the stream could go on for a while. So I'll pause it there and regulate, and come back to Asil and just see what his reflection might be.
Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. So it's so interesting. Like, you have all these different technologies and all these different tools are being downloaded into you. And then you are able to give people like these pieces of tools and technologies to integrate into themselves, to become more empowered, and to become to be able to navigate a world of waves and challenges and circumstances, whatever it might be, because in this dualistic world, everything is happening and everything is possible. So, but you are bringing in like these very light tools, and it's really fascinating to see how quickly these things come to you and integrate, and how quickly you share them with people with such a solidity and such confidence that it feels so natural. Like, it doesn't feel like, oh, she just made this shit up, It actually feels like real and solid. Like there is sustenance to it when I feel you share about those. So it's really fascinating. How and where and when did this start really for you?
So at the age when I was younger, I actually I came in very highly sensitive, right? I was really, really super shy, super sensitive. I actually walked off a cliff at the age of about 5. I was summer camp and I fell and I had a huge goose egg. It was really crazy, but I just popped back up as if like I was in a video game, and I didn't even cry. I was just like, okay, I'm good, right? And I could feel at that time there was something with me that was, you could call it an aspect of an angelic form or a guardian or whatever you want to call it. Some people might call that a walk-in, but it was always with me, and I would talk to it. My mom would walk by my room and I'd always be in conversation with the angels, even though I wasn't calling them that because I didn't have any indoctrination about what an angel was, right? And then flash forward many years later, it really became clear when a woman said to me, I was going in for something called quantum biofeedback, a session, and she says, I know you didn't come in here for this, but I want you to know that I work with angels, and there are 3 standing in the room, and right now Archangel Michael's here and he has a message for you. Are you open for that? And I said, okay, sure, why not? And I just come out of working in private jets and hedge funds and all the stuff, right? All the real ego dense industries, entertainment, tech, all of it. And had started creating my own company. And I knew I was opening up and shifting into something different, but I wasn't quite sure yet. And she said, well, he wants you to know that you're one of his girls. And he's here to tell me to take care of you and to guide you because they're going to be working with you. And I thought that was interesting. I wasn't really sure what it meant. And then from there, though, I just, for the next 3 years, was getting kind of opened my mind more and more to these concepts. And in that process, eventually one day I heard the words in my head, basically, you are an angelic light stream. And I said, what's that? And then I heard right away, Google it, which I thought was kind of weird, right? So I went to Google it, and I was led to the Essene Gospel of Peace and the Holy Stream of Light and Yeshua and Magdalene's work and all of the Essene's work. And so it really activated something in me to explore that more. And just as life would have it, I happened to also be working on a script because I went to school for film and screenwriting. And I was working on a script that asked me to kind of investigate into Kabbalah. And when I did that, I started reading these letters, the 72 names of God, and it started opening up my channel without me knowing it, because it traces the neural pathways and it just opens up. They're like fire letters, they're fire keys, right? And they open up things. And then I started getting downloads every night, 3, 4 in the morning. I'd wake up with just random quantum physics stuff and really weird things. So then it just progressed from there. Asil, where it just was many years of kind of figuring it out, right? And then in 2013, I kind of came out of the spiritual closet at Conscious Life Expo and produced the first angel panel for them, and have been working with the angels at a collective level and the seraphim specifically in the last, I'd say, 8 or 10 years or so. And this energy, when it started coming through, I started to tone and speak in the language of the angels. And when it goes beyond words that we know, right, it has a different effect. The sound comes in and it just harmonizes very differently. So from there, do what I can to harness and regulate and make it, palpable. But yes, all the intel that I get really is designed to help us see things. I'm going to just regulate right now because my internet went out. Hold on. Okay. see things in a slightly different angle, right? Because there's been so much that's come in that we keep rinse and repeating. And what my angels have really told me, they said, well, you're welcome to do that, but at the end of the day, you're going to keep getting the same types of experiences. Maybe you might want to try something a little new. All right. So really what I've learned with this concept of diamond earth, which you could call sovereign earth, sacred earth, there's many names, right? It's the idea of the visual. When you think of a diamond earth, you think of the facets, the sparkling nature, the clarity, all the transparency, the beauty, right? And for me, what that meant was to access the subconscious, to visualize, okay, this is what I'm lending my energy to build now. And the bridges to that earth are mostly found in nature, if I'm honest, and which I am. And so to me, when we can connect into the trees and the networks, right, even our own bodies, the bodies are leading the way into this new earth experience, right? And we oftentimes want to go into the mind and work on the mind stuff and the emotional baggage and all these things, which are all important. But oftentimes the bodies get neglected. And for me, I've really had to learn personally, like, pay attention to the body, Stephanie, right? Because I go out there, right? And they're like, no, come back to the body. The body's the authority right now, and that connection to earth. So it's been a really beautiful journey of integration. And for me personally, now I kind of see my soul is kind of encapsulating my body. I kind of call that a halo. And I really feel that when we are soul-centric, when we are giving a certain authority to our own connection to the source God consciousness of love, I feel that that's when we, take back our power and become the activists, as John talks about, right? That spiritual activist, I call it being an angelic activist, where we are really activating everything around us. We are a living light ceremony at all times. And our self-devotional practices, like you do with your meditations, as do I and others, that is where we are really gifting what we are as bridges from the heaven to the earth, so to speak. Massive amounts of frequency upgrades and liberation, truly, for everyone else that isn't necessarily in this awareness.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Yeah, I feel you, and thank you for doing the work that you're doing and walking this path. So when it comes to Earth Day and when it comes to being human on Earth, right? So how are you celebrating, and how would you say, like, is there a piece of advice you could share with our audience here on how to embrace being human and how to embrace being of Earth and how to live in a really beautiful exchange with this Earth?
Yeah. Well, this is something that Yeshua has spoken to me about a lot. He's one of my mentors. And the thing about it is, when there's pain in the body, sometimes we don't want to be in the body, right? And somebody mentioned this earlier, like, what do we do how do we not harness pain, when there's energies around us? And part of that is going to be from a place of knowing you're always safe, right? But also setting appropriate boundaries. There are energies sometimes that are like, oh, you have pretty energy. I want to maybe, take a little of that. And I always just say, I'm sorry, the buffet's closed, right? It's like, go eat elsewhere.
That's right.
Right. But so it's about really owning our shift, meaning our own elemental frequency upgrades, right? How we're shifting regularly, because there are energies that come in always, right? And really getting comfortable in our own bodies and feeling into every crevices of our body and checking in with it and saying, hey, liver, how you doing today? Hey, adrenals, how you doing today, right? Seeing if you're in your feet, are you even in your body? So the first thing I do always is really kind of activate what I call my halo and go, okay, let me anchor and ground and dock in and make sure that if I've been traveling during the night in dream time, because we're not really in ourselves, like present within. What I would say is all the work that you're doing isn't going to have as much of an effect when you are here to be of service to the collective earth, right? If you're half in, half out, like hovercrafting, you're not grounding, right, into her. And so I always do a grounding exercise of some kind, and that can be many different ways. But you know, seeing roots coming from your feet into the earth, or doing a whole, you know, light stream or thread down into the earth and gifting that to her heart. Things of that nature would be one thing I do. Another thing is dance, right? Because when we dance, we're releasing certain energies, we're letting the lymphatic really kind of flow, and we're getting energies through the body, and that's really, really important. And another one I want to share is humming. I know a lot of people will ohm and will tone, right? Sound is really palpable. Humming, when we, you know, just bring that energy of resonance into your body through sound. Your resonance is your residence. Where do you reside? What station of consciousness do you reside on? So when you bring in the sound and you really harmonize through sound of your own sound, not always external, right? That's really acknowledging the power that you have to connect to what I call the seraphim, right? These energies of really powerful wisdom and source. And when we bring that sound in, it's similar to how bees buzz. If you've ever heard of the concept of listening to bees buzzing, there's a healing energy. They say that people who work with bees actually live longer, right? There's a healing energy to the frequency of bees, for instance. Again, they're earth friends, right? So we have a resonance that we can really, really tone into. And I love to share that. Actually, Asil, do you mind if I shared a little sound, just some of the language
Sure.
to give people an experiential? Because I can inform, but I feel like experience.
Give us an experiential.
All right. So let me just tune into Gaia and we'll see what she wants to share. Hold on, give me a minute. So I just invite everybody to close your eyes and feel into you as this vibration comes forward. Knowing that this is a love hug from Gaia herself, for us honoring her, she's honoring us. In gratitude and appreciation for all that we are here to bring forward through this collective. Mandaro nero hayo hoya haine maranduro saya randura ya mayando kayo indara jariando Kondara haizare andaro, kandara hari zuarandere, korondara hai, korondara yo handara vaya mandara hai. Oh, So what I felt through that transmission was the earthing energies, and then some of the water air energies. But the message, what I received from that was just, it's like I have to just kind of get the emotion in for a minute, just not because I'm allergic to it, but just I want to make sure. So much love and appreciation for everybody here and everybody who will be here in future moments of this now. there's a feeling of the world, right? There's a feeling to that energy that when we really tap in and we allow our instruments to move it through us, it awakens something in you and all of us, right? It moves us out of the I am into the we are. And this is a collective journey that we're all on right now, is to be in service to all of us as us, right? The oneness of us. And so what I was receiving really in that transmission was the unification, the feeling of celebration, and the feelings of appreciation, that we are aware and that we are the ones that we've all been waiting for, right? We're not waiting for some Superman out there, some angel out there to fix this, or an element of a Messiah to come in and save us all. We are that. She's saying we are that, and own that potential within you, and know that we are all here doing this together, and we're never alone, and we are always supported. And I wanted to share one last thing, Asil. I'm going to make a special announcement. I can't believe I'm going to do this, but I am, because I'm in the heart space to do it. This is a special friend. She's called the Hug Angel. She's the Hug Angel. She's the true Hug Angel that's coming out. And she's something I made for the children and children and all of us. This is her prototype. So this is the first version. I know it's hard in my background. And she has like really huggable, kind of smushy, blankety-like wings. And I created her because I felt that we needed a hug. We needed something to remind us. We needed something, and some of us more than others, when we've gone through loss and grief and everything that's happened in the world in the last few, years, especially, there needs to be sometimes that therapeutic, comforting energy. And so she's going to be coming out this year. And I just wanted to just share a little bit of her, because this is going to be this is the first prototype. There'll be a little change. But yeah, I'm just excited to be birthing her. I have no children of my own, so she's kind of like my only child right now. But I just wanted to share this on this beautiful Earth Day, to just have it be her coming out just now, spontaneously. My angels are like, do it. I'm like, okay. Because I just feel like it's something to know that we are always, always supported. That's a really important message. Gaia is here to support us, and we're all here to support each other. So I just wanted to say that's the Hug Angel.
How beautiful. Your gifts keep on giving. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you for running into us again, in this lifetime, so that we can collaborate and co-create and make even more magic happen. Bring more awareness into this world. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you for your level of articulation and refinement and those beautiful messages. Very encouraging, inspiring, and thank you for bringing Gaia through as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm so honored, and just thank you, Christelle. Thank you to Denise and everybody on Asil's team for bringing this together so beautifully and bringing us together in such a powerful way, and just visualizing our planet in perfect peace and harmony in every way, right? Every day we can make that vision and hold that truth for ourselves, and that will just emanate through the resonance that we are. So I thank you all again for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, such waves of love and appreciation, and just I just keep getting smashed by these waves and the ocean of love. It's beautiful. So thank you. Whatever this wave is that we're riding, let's keep on riding it. This is amazing. This is amazing. So, in the spirit of Earth Day, we're going to leave you with a couple of prompts for yourself. And what we basically, we love celebrating Earth Day, but we actually believe that celebrating Earth should be every day. That's, something that we believe. We see ourselves as stewards of this Earth. We see ourselves as Earth keepers, right? So we see ourselves as not just humans that happen to have a human experience on Earth, and then when I'm dead, then I'm gonna be dead. No, it's we are here not just as humans having a human experience, but we're here also to make a difference, and we can make a difference because we are empowered beings. So in that sense, as Ascension One, we have a whole pathway that's dedicated to being an Earth Keeper, and that is a Sacred Earth pathway. And in the Sacred Earth pathway, we come together in meditation, in honoring of the earth, in understanding our divine connection to the conscious being that the earth is and the consciousness that the earth holds, and nourishing and strengthening that bond that we have with her. Because we know if that bond is strong and healthy, then we are going to be strong and healthy. And if we actually receive that love, that unconditional love, we can share that unconditional love. If we feel the abundance of the earth, we can share that abundance within us. It's the disconnection that creates scarcity, separation, and then from that place, it creates conflict and tension and so on. So in this Sacred Earth pathway that we have, there's different things we do. Sometimes it is courses that will happen throughout a year. Like right now, we have a course that's called Foundations, because we believe establishing a strong personal, energetic, emotional, mental foundation within ourselves will support us as human beings of being a good human member in society, and it will support us in being good earth keepers, good stewards of this earth. So Foundations is a very powerful course that we're currently doing, and there will be another one in August. And until then, we also have this trip that we're going to be going on, an expedition, an exploration, and an adventure to some of the most beautiful and sacred places in Europe and the Balkans. Now, some people will come with us in person, but many people will be invited to join us online and digitally. So we'll take you with us on the journey to visiting some super powerful sacred sites and to doing some powerful healing of collective sites of trauma. Because we believe that sites of global trauma hold a density and energy in place in certain areas of the world, in fabrics of society, that keeps us from evolving. It keeps us from elevating. Does that make sense? Imagine being born into a country that was war-torn for many, many generations, for hundreds of years, for thousands of years. That fabric of society, that fabric of the region holds that energy and rarely has transmuted it fully. This is the type of work we can do and we will do. And this is the work that we are inviting you to join us. So, the online experience to join us to the Balkans isn't quite yet ready, but we are saying stay tuned and we'll send you something soon in your inbox, or join us on our newsletter, follow us in our social media channels. We'll let you know when that's ready. For those that are really inclined to join us in person at some of these powerful places, join us there in person. Would love to have you there and would love to show you the magic of this Sacred Earth Keeper work. And when it comes to being a responsible, being a sustainable, and empowered human being on Earth, we want to hear from you. And you can share it in the chats, and you can share it on our social media platforms. You can share it on our Mighty Networks, our online platform for our community. Share with us what it means to be a responsible, sustainable, loving, and empowered human being on Earth. What that means to you and how you live it every day. because I want to hear it from you. I don't want to just be the one saying, oh, I do this and I do that, and this is what I see the world doing. Now I want to hear from you. What is it that you're doing? And how are you doing it? How are you making every day a difference for yourself and for others, even if it's small? Because it's not about how big it is that the changes that we're trying to bring. Even the smallest shifts of perspective can make a difference. Therefore, I believe that you make a difference. And I want you to believe that you make a difference. And I want you to be proud of the difference that you're making. And I want you to share the difference that you're making. So share it with us on social media. Share it with us. Share it with the world on social media. Share it with friends and loved ones. And share it also in actions, not just in words. Show them. Show them how you're living your empowered state of being, the empowered soul that you are. Empowered souls we don't play victims. We're not seeking for villains, and we don't seek to be saviors. We're living our truth by the actions that we're capable of doing, and we truly believe that we can make a difference. So we do. We love unconditionally even those that are ignorant to see the impacts of their decisions, the impacts of their actions. We love them too. And every day we make a little bit more conscious decisions about ourselves, about our actions, and about life on earth. So, happy sharing. This is how we spread the love. And if you really enjoyed today's transmission and today's meditation, share that too. Bring other people into this place. Bring other people into that state of being, of truly being loved and loving together in a community. This is what's possible when we come together. So let's come together even more. So from my heart to your heart, to the heart of this earth, I'm super grateful and super thankful for all of you to join us and celebrate this beautiful day and beautiful existence on earth. And yeah, I want to see what Crystal has to say here. But before I hand over to you, I just want to say we have an incredible team of human beings that have made this thing possible among all the other things that we're doing. So I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Denise, Azadeh, Farah, Andrea, Joshua, Brenda, Jessica, Stove, Alfredo. It's just, the list goes on. There's so many, and there's ambassadors here that have been helping us with the courses and participants here from the courses. It's just, the love is just boiling over me. So thank you all for being here and for making this possible. Also want to thank the Unify team for transmitting and sharing our live stream with their audience. That is, millions of people have access to the Unify streams. And, for all our special guests for coming, for Alan and for Joan of Angels and for John Burgos and for Stephanie and their communities to be observing and witnessing this experience together. For all of the souls that don't know that we were just doing this and they were part of our meditation unknowingly, thanks to them, they probably are having a great experience. So blessings, blessings, blessings. Crystal, you're mute.
one of my major takeaways today is that Gaia created crystals so that you didn't have to bring dirt in your suitcase.
I love it, Crystal.
Alan.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So just to thank you everybody for joining us, and just a few words about the ways you can continue this journey with us. So we invite you to join our newsletter, which is the best way to stay updated on all the upcoming events, as we do have lots of them. We have our next live transmission with the Elohim on Saturday, May 6th. There's a link to the chat. There's a link in the chat for the event. And we'll also send an announcement out in our newsletter. We're going to be coming together for World Meditation Day on Sunday, May 21st. We'll be doing something for that. And as Asil mentioned, you're invited to join us on our next Sacred Earth expedition through the Balkans. We have 25 spots left for those who haven't already pre-committed to join this retreat in person and be part of the adventure. And then we'll be sharing with you about your ability to join virtually. Thank you to our beloved planning and production team, Stove, Denise, Brett, Sophia, Desi, Pablo, Alfredo, Farah, Azadeh, Brenda. And thank you to our support team, Andrea, Joshua, Elida. As you have heard, there is an enormous amount of love, energy, effort, resources, sleepless nights sometimes that come into that goes into the planning of this event to bring it out to you for 3 hours. And so we really, really appreciate you all. Yeah. And thanks to everybody for the curiosity that you brought, the openness, your commitment to the earth and celebrating the earth as a conscious being with us here today. So here's to continuing to evolve together. I hope today you have fun, and I certainly am going to have fun. So I appreciate you all. Thank you, and we'll see you soon.
Before we release everyone, I just want to say, let's unmute everyone and sing happy birthday for Crystal, because that's what she deserves. So
this is
unmute
gonna be
everyone
fun.
and follow my lead on the happy birthday song. Are we getting all unmuted? Yes?
Yes, it's happening. Yes.
It's happening. Fantastic. Crystal, we love you, and we want to share our
love,
gratitude to you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday to
you.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
dear
dear Crystal.
Happy
happy
birthday
Happy birthday
to
to
you.
you.
And many more.
And many more.
Thank you all. I love you so much. Thank you.
And now, in whichever language you speak, in that version.
Happy birthday, Crystal.
Yes.
Wait, hold on.
Incredible.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Blessings to all of you, and have a beautiful, beautiful rest of Earth Day and beautiful weekend.
Yeah, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you.
Everyone.
Love to everybody. Thank you.
Happy
Happy birthday.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Happy birthday.